Hopefully we'll be able to speak about the people in Larso as well, if we can just have a couple moments of your time so we can go on the record. Well, I don't know how you talked since we weren't here, so I don't know how you could have updated unless you told some people some things that, you know, that I wanted to say. Oh. It's fine. I don't need a microphone. I'm sure everybody can hear me. First thing I wanted to do is ask why everybody on the island, all the refugees, have gotten their salaries and their benefits except for the 130 victims that I have in Larso. Why you guys have not provided their benefits, looked at their cases, sent any more protection officers. You've actually suppressed their rights. You've illegally suppressed their rights. That's the first thing. And I hope this is on the record in front of everyone because I might be dead tomorrow. That is the kind of position they put us in, to the point where my embassy has to call me and tell me to get off of this island because I'm being threatened by the bad guys and the cops that these people are helping to cover for. The executive prohibitive order that came down on Pikpa, that's the exact same order they used against us. And it was actually issued the day that I was here speaking to her, and they already had known about this. And they didn't feel like they should let us know. Instead, they said that we will meet after this meeting, You have not contacted me once since, you or Patrick. The authorities every single day come and threaten these victims. Now again, I have the most vulnerable victims at my place. The ones that were in this room or tent or caravan, which they laughed and scoffed at, that is sometimes used to torture people. Now when I say torture people, I have pictures, I have testimonies that are corroborated, and at the very least, in any civilized society, would warrant an investigation, at least looking into. I have not heard once from you. Your job here is not to help the authorities bully refugees or cover up crimes. Your job here is to investigate and to help preserve the rights of refugees. So first of all, I'm here in their voice because I can't do my job anymore. I'm not Humans for Humanity. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be Neda Kadri right now because of that prohibitive order that they sent down on us. A way to basically bully the victims. I never wanted to go head to head with the authorities. That wasn't the plan. They have always played nice with everyone. But when the victim comes and looks you in the eye and says, please, we don't know how else to get help. And I didn't even know who Astrid was. I knew the name Astrid and I knew she was the woman in my office, and I didn't realize that she was the head of the UNHCR until I came to this meeting. When I looked you in the eye and I said, how dare you threaten victims with cutting their benefits if they don't go back and live with their attackers? You have not even investigated the crimes they have alleged happened to them. The authorities have scoffed at this. I've gone with reports in any country in the European Union with 10% of what I've gone to the authorities with would have at least opened an investigation. Instead, they tell me bring the witnesses so we can go to the prosecutor on Monday, and on Sunday they go and they intimidate the witnesses. The following day, they take somebody that has already threatened them and they bring them to the middle of the thing, basically like, she can't protect you. If you're running from a bad guy in Moria, we'll bring them straight to you right here. There's a price on me and Rafat's head from the same bad guys that were begging you to investigate or to be a part of an investigation. Half of our team has been bought out. People think we're crazy until they walk 1 hour with us in the city and they see it for themselves. Or they spend one night at our house and they see it for themselves. We have literally found ourselves in the middle of an action movie where we've got the big NGOs helping the governments cover it up. The government's not investigating and focusing their time on harassing people like us, like Pikpa, like those victims, instead of looking into the allegations that are being made. So I'm putting it on the record because if something, I'm going to stay and I'm going to fight you guys. Because I'm the small guy that doesn't let bad things happen because I'm afraid for my title. I don't give a shit. I will go home tomorrow. But I'm not going to let these people get bullied by you. I'm not going to let the victims suffer by you, by anyone else. So I'm putting it on the record in front of everybody because if anything happens to me, then know who the people that helped cover up the bad guys are. There's some radical elements in that camp. Maybe you guys don't speak the language or understand the culture, but we do. One word of graffiti is very clear who their allegiances are. The one word that was spray painted outside. The words that they use. In our culture, there are words for stealing, and there are words for acquiring spoils of war that God has sent you, which means you are on a mission of radical Islam. There are things and being said and happening in that camp that Westerners maybe can't realize or don't want to realize. So for the final time, I'm putting it on the record and saying that I've tried so much to work with authorities to have investigations opened, and instead they have harassed the victims. They have sent people to tell them, whether you like it or not, your kids are going to be dragged back to Moria, and in the end you have nowhere else to go but Moria. UNHCR at one point threatened them to cut their benefits, and you have made good on that promise. And every person in Larso does not have a single dollar or single euro, in their pocket. They're begging us for tobacco because now not only do we have to protect people and feed them and do their hygiene, but we also have to make up for the money that you're not giving them, and you have not paid $1 towards Larso. So now these people have I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Electra Kutra. She took on this case. Now these people have an open docket in the European Court of Human Rights. Surely we will be lodging a complaint against the UNHCR for suppressing the benefits of these refugees illegally and without written notice. And we're going to fight. You're going to protect these people. And if something happens to us, again, here we are on the record saying that there is something incredibly nasty happening in that camp. The people at my camp are victims of it. They have the right to be protected. They have the right to be in a safe place without being intimidated by authorities or by thugs or organized groups in the camp. And that the UNHCR, who I reported this stuff to, has only sent one protection officer one time. There's still more people that were victims of torture in that room. Specifically hand-drawn maps to a specific room that likely doesn't exist now because we do have some cover-ups going on. They're not being protected. We're being intimidated. We're being threatened. We've had to hire private security. They already had all you guys stop working around us. 2 days ago, a specific officer walks into my center, asks for specific volunteers. The next day, those specific volunteers who had been threatened by specific people in the camp are approached by a refugee that has links to those people in the camp. And by the next day, they have personal protection from these organized groups in the camp, and they're back in Moria. They are isolating us to leave us alone. And now that they know that I won't shut up and I won't go away and I will put things on the record and I'm not corrupt and I don't care, they're intimidating and threatening us. So that's all I have to say. Now I have to go to work on these files. I hope that you will at least give these people their monthly salary that they absolutely deserve. Actually, no. What is the reason why you didn't give them a salary? What's the reason? We're on the record, and I need on the record.
Finished, I will,
okay, perfect. I'm finished. I'm finished. That's fine.
So first, the UNHCR mandate is not to investigate. We are not the government, and we will never replace the government.
Okay.
This one. Second, the police is in charge of Larsos and to find solutions. Together with RIS, we have tried to help by asking you since 1 month to give us a population list. Since then, since today, we still haven't received.
Still haven't called me either.
RIS has called you so many times.
No, they haven't.
My colleagues have called you so many times.
No, they haven't. I asked for a meeting with you, and actually I do have one more point to note. Yesterday, they asked me on Friday, I made a deal with the general police that I would have 16 people go to Yachtida and 6 caravans or 6 families to Karatape. Now, mind you, 2 weeks before, I personally called Stavros and said, please, I have vulnerable women that are here with kids alone. They're not under direct threat to go to Moria, to Karatape, because there are some that even Karatape can't take because they can get to them there. But they should be in Karatape. Sorry, but command has been issued that no families come from Larsos. Mind you, this was the day after this meeting, and I said, Stavros, I know you have 3 caravans available because I was at the meeting and Astrid said so. So command says this, so you guys skip over 3 families, so the opportunity to basically empty Larsos is skipped over. Okay, whatever. I make deals with the authorities that are never honored. Friday, this last Friday, was the last deal that was made with the general and a couple other people that 6 caravans go to Karatape, 16 people to Yachtida. The list for Yachtida was done within hours of them asking it. The people are still sitting in my place. They've had their bags packed for almost a week now. And on Friday, when we also agreed about Karatape, we agreed on Monday, the witnesses to the additional crimes would come forth and go to the prosecutor and we'd file special charges. On Sunday, they went and they intimidated people. On Monday, because again, I can't work, so I've kind of just given my place to them to run as they wish. I'm not an organization now. I'm not anybody now. Because again, that prohibitive order. But I've given them the keys. The rent is paid. The warehouse is open. I'm not going to kick people out. I'm not going to put kids out on the street. So then you guys decide to send UNHCR and Stavros comes. And I don't know what they were doing. I thought they were doing an additional 7 families. Yesterday, the authorities, like I said, the people call me in a panic. The authorities are here. They brought the guy that I've kicked out twice and had arrested once for trespassing and bringing drugs onto my property at 2 o'clock in the morning, who signed a no trespassing order. They brought him as an interpreter. They very much knew the threat he was to families. And not only that, they left him on the property, knowing that me and my volunteers aren't there. They left him with the families and left. So the families called me going crazy, like, what are they trying to do? So naturally, this property that I legally rent, I came to. So the UNHCR shows up with a list of 23 names. I said, this isn't the list I sent, because I know every person at my center by name, by story, and who they're related to. Hey, lady, this is the lista. I said, hey, lady, I wrote the lista. This is not it. And it escalated between us. And it wasn't the people. And I guess apparently you guys felt it appropriate to separate families, like a grandmother and like siblings, because the list I sent, you thought that you were superior to. I mean, that's the thing with you guys. You guys think because you're the big NGOs and I'm the small grassroots that has to beg for $1 or $2, that like we're vermin. We're not. We're the ones filling in the gaps that you can't fill in. So they changed the list. They took who they pleased. And then they drove to the gas station, not even a kilometer from my place. And the driver heard them say, Karatape, Karatape. And he said, no, my instructions were to take you to Moria. So they started yelling and screaming, got their bags, and walked out and walked back to my center. I don't know what games you're playing, but it stops now. Act legal. It's not your job to investigate. At least follow international law. I'm sure it's that. There's at least that much. You don't lie to vulnerable victims and tell them that you're taking them to a safe place and then drive a kilometer down the road and the driver starts screaming in Greek. They've given me specific instructions not to drive a meter past Moria.
I wonder why you're doing this, Nida. Is it a hobby of yours?
Of course it's not a hobby.
Okay, I wanted to have that answer.
Because listen, let me tell you something. I could get on a plane and leave tomorrow. My embassy wants me to get on a plane and leave tomorrow. But I made a promise to these people and I'm not going to back out.
People, I call upon you. Have something in your mind switched. Why is she doing this? Because she's taking care of the people. She's taking more care of the people than all of us do. Go home and act.
I just need an answer that I can give my people for why you didn't give them their benefits that every other refugee gave them.
Okay. As I have already said some weeks ago, part of the population that was in Darsus is not enrolled in our database. If they are not enrolled in our database, we cannot provide the cash card.
So why didn't you enroll them?
As you know, we wanted, but we were stopped to do so.
From who?
From the government.
Okay, now, so it's the government that decides whether you give refugees benefits. Are you getting paid by the European Union to provide benefits or to follow command of the government?
The law, it is indeed mentioned in the law that cash can be provided for people that are in official sites.
Okay, now you know that first of all, it was the government that brought them to me. Because the government changed their mind 2 weeks into it, listen, you guys scapegoated us, whatever, that's how the big boys play. But let's be honest, human to human here. I didn't take them in on my own. They didn't come to me on their own. You guys brought them to us. But at one point, people decided that the message, because all you cared about was the message, is that if this group is allowed to stay outside, whether it's in Pikpa or Larso, then every ethnic group will think that if they flee the camp, they'll be able to stay off site, or a new site will be created for them. That is all that blinded you guys. And you guys said it to me. So let's not forget that at one point, you said these things to me. And that's all you cared about. You didn't care about the real issue. You didn't care about investigating their claims. You didn't care about looking into their files. You guys went into, boom, political bureaucrat mode, and that's all you cared about. But in the end, the message that you're going to send, and it's going to get to the world, is that we punish the victims for running away and looking for safety. Is that we let the bad guys roam free. The message that you personally, okay, you're not the government, it's not your job to investigate, but you know what you were? You were complicit in the cover-up. You were complicit in the cover-up, because I specifically, face-to-face, have told you, this is the third time, that there are radical elements that are torturing these people inside the camp. And you sent a protection officer once that didn't even interview everybody. So you are at least complicit in covering this crime. Furthermore, you have denied refugees their benefits because the authorities want to cover up this crime. Because they know the last 70 that I've got are either direct victims of the crimes or direct witnesses. That is why they're trying to get rid of the last 70. Because they're either direct victims or they're witnesses. They can give information about who is who, the structure of the group, the crimes that they commit. So again, I'm saying this on the record right now. Because if something happens to the people at my site, they're trying to disappear them. If something happens to me or my husband, they're trying to disappear us. Because there's some really, really, really nasty stuff happening in that camp. So in the end, what you did was punish the victims. You allowed the government to punish the victims. Don't tell me this official site, non-official site. You didn't care that it was an official site when you brought them to me. You made it an official site when you brought them to me. You don't get to bully them.
Okay, I did not blame you. It was race. Second, I will repeat that we are asking you since 1 month to give us a population list for us to know who is who and who should go where. Never we have received.
I don't trust you guys. They're witnesses that you guys are intimidating. That's why. That's why I haven't provided the list. Because, again, and I never really wanted to come and say this here. I thought I would find a local authority, at least one, that could be trusted. But everybody's been linked to everybody so far. The list is done. I haven't sent it to the camp because at least one person in Rick is collaborating. So no, I won't provide a list. If you guys remember the last meeting, she said her and Patrick both said that we would meet. Yes, right? They have not reached out to me once. Not one time. Not once. Not a call, not an email, not a message, nothing.
The question back, why not? Or is that true or didn't happen? Why not?
How many times we didn't contact? Sorry, my colleague did.
After the meeting, you contacted me. After the meeting. I'm sorry?
You left.
Okay, you have my phone number, you have my email, and you know where my center is. You absolutely had no...
I asked Babakakis, shall we meet? I cannot talk in behalf of the government. So
Oh yeah, but you can talk on behalf of the UNHCR.
yes, I have.
Have we met?
How many times even my
Since the meeting, June 21st, have you reached out to me one time? Even once?
My colleagues did.
No, which colleagues?
Ingrid has called you.
Who? When did she call me?
We tried to call you.
When?
With race many times during the past 2 weeks after the last meeting here.
I have not gotten one single call from you, and why didn't you email me? Or why didn't you come to the center? Why didn't you ask Berlakis or Kostas or all these other people that get in touch? I don't have one missed call. I honestly don't have. You can look through my phone.
Anyway.
Anyways, with all due respect, the meeting was to be with you and with Patrick. You guys. So, and you haven't reached out to me once. If I was that... I'm sorry? No, I'm too busy trying to take care of the people that you're bullying.
Okay.
I don't sleep for days at a time. I'm one person.
Okay, so shall we talk about yesterday when you asked all the people to leave the bus while we were bringing them to Karatepe?
I was at the police station filing a police report.
Of course.
Hold on. I was at
if
the...
you're against the police orders, it's normal that you're there.
Are you crazy? Hold on. Hold on.
Nina.
No. Do you understand what she just said? The police brought me a trespasser. I had the police come. My lawyer was there, and there's several witnesses were there. The police came, arrested the trespasser, and said, you come with us to the station now if you want to file a report against him. This was as people were loading the bus. We get in the car, we're with the police filing the report. We get a call from our volunteers, the new guys, the Kurdish guys, saying that people just all walked back right now from the bus because the driver said you don't drive a foot past Moria. Don't you dare say I called the people. I was with the police, and then she's going to say, of course, there's a police order against you. No, darling, there's an administrative order against me. It's not criminal. I can't be arrested. I was the one that asked the police to file a report against a trespasser that other police had brought to my center.
Okay, fine. But yesterday, the people were supposed to go to Karatepe, not Moria. And if you had let it go, already 26 people would have left.
Okay, again, for the record, it was the people that stopped the bus because, actually, call the people right now. Let's put them on speaker and put them on the record. Let's do that. Call them. I'm serious. Call the center. Call someone at the center. Let's put the people that were on the bus on the record in front of everyone so that we can show who's telling the truth. Because that's the same thing that Deputy Berlakis tried to tell Electra, one moment, that these people wanted to go to Moria and I'm the one that's stopping them. That is the position. Now they're scapegoating me. So now it's my fault they didn't go to Karatepe when I was the one that provided the list within 2 hours when they said that people would go to Karatepe. Don't start these lies on me because I'm not the one that will have her reputation and everything slandered and you're going to try to make me look crazy so that you can continue with your crimes. Hell no. Hell no, we will put the people on the record in front of everyone and I will expose you. Astrid, I'm not the one. I'm not the one you play these tactics with.
Okay, you said it before and you...
I don't respect them.
Sorry.